this is another story that kind of encapsulates Omni Understands. And this is another story from the gate that I thought was just like phenomenal. And I've met with them over the last couple of weeks to say, hey, I'm presenting to the GSOs, and I really want some stories that will make a point about Omni Understands. And so we kind of put our heads together and they said, okay, you got to, this is the story. So I had them write it down for me. Normally I would just give it to you, but I didn't want to miss a beat because it is so huge. So they were working with a client that had requested to see Champions Gate, and the client was looking at 12 hotels and was going to see 12 hotels in 2 days. All right, and the client is Hines, okay? 12 hotels in 2 days, y'all get the picture, okay? By the time they get here, they're like, whatever. They were staying at another property and had lunch at another hotel. They only provided the Omni Champions Gate 1 hour to wow them. The competition told the meeting planners that Champions Gate was too far, that they didn't need to come for a site, and the clients were delayed 3 hours getting here to the hotel, but still stopped by to be polite. Isn't that very nice, very sweet, very special? So, okay, imagine what the emotional state is coming. You're 3 hours late. We told them that we would come. Okay, so imagine what they're coming to, okay? Now, here goes. The first words out of their mouths is, we only have 15 minutes, so make it quick. Okay, you can't get into the ballroom in 15 minutes and see this place, okay? You got to take it all in. But here's what they did. They already had their minds made up about the hotel they were going to select and had very low expectation for the property. Upon the client's arrival, the executive committee representatives, director of sales, assistant director of convention services, and catering greeted the clients with red carpet. And they were ready to showcase their property. Recognizing the client's time constraint, as they walked to the guest room, the clients mentioned that they were starving as they had been running all day. Remember, connect first, sell last. Okay, check this out. Upon entering the sleeping rooms, they had an artist from the culinary staff dressed as a French painter with the hat and the painter's palette, all in painting a portrait of the resort using Heinz product. Ketchup, mustard, relish. Okay, now, let me tell you what's happening in an emotional state. All of a sudden, you enter into a sleeping room and you see this, all right? All of a sudden, there is a shift in your emotions because something just connected with you, okay? The Heinz products and snacks were made of Heinz products. They were available, and they had the products in the room for them to snack on. So instead of just having regular stuff for them to eat, they picked up on, we only have 15 minutes, we're hungry, come on, let's see a room, whatever, because a room is a room is a room. And then all of a sudden they shifted them because not only was the artist, but they had Heinz products, okay? But wait, there's more. I always wanted to say that. All right. The clients were overwhelmed by the attention to detail and the commitment of the team. They loved the creativity from the team and were so thankful that they had food, especially because it was Heinz products. Okay, pause. Let's put a stake in the ground. Every single client that you're working on from a global national account, when you talk to your hotels out in the field, you need to tell them and take this Heinz example and say, what are you doing? Ask the question. Do not leave it to chance. What are you doing to make sure we carry the brand name of this organization all the way through the experience? Okay? Because what will disconnect, if you've built this great relationship and this great story, and they get to the property, and there's a disconnect. So I want you thinking about, how do you begin to work with your partners at the hotels and say, what are we doing to create a point of differentiation, a total departure, to create travel envy? Okay? So the entire tone of the site changed after this. They were only going to give us 15 minutes and ended up staying 2 hours. While walking to the recreation area, the chef was waiting at the herb garden to show the clients how Champions Gate cultivates their products in their garden here. That's how much we value their business. The main client thought it was amazing that the chef was so involved in showing the client how much we appreciated their business. They then proceeded to showcase the meeting rooms, and in the middle of our walkthrough, we placed the hot dog stand with a miniature culinary delicates in order to showcase our modern take on the classics and still use Heinz products to accent them. When it was time for the departure, we proceeded to showcase our restaurants, finalizing the walkthrough at David's Club, and we had a whole area set up with alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks inspired by their products. Bloody Mary made with Heinz sauce. Pickle martini made with Heinz pickles, and y'all get the picture. Okay, but here's the net, because all this is very nice, very sweet, and very special. They took it over the top. I know you're wondering, did they get the business? Okay, 12 hotels. Yes, they got the business. It was a $500,000 piece of business. Give it up for the gate! Woohoo!